I can see her lying back in her set.
Okay, happy Homebrew Wednesday. So, wow, it's been a great half week, but I'm happy I got my wife back. She just came back today on Wednesday from her. She was down in Miami Beach, kicking it with her work colleagues. So it's good to have her back. We fall apart when she's not here. And here I am thinking I kept the house clean, and she gets home. First thing she notices is one of her dogs peed in our closet. Oh well. This is a double IPA from it's called Aleworks Brewing Company. It's down in Williamsburg, and this is pretty good. It's called Secret Admirer. It's a 8% double IPA. A lot of linalool. Doesn't really have a description on it, I don't think. Double India Pale Ale. No, it doesn't say. I didn't do any research on it, but anyway, cheers. It's really good. I had one of these last night. You'll probably see the video when I was cooking a little home chef for the kids. So anyway, got a little brew footage you'll see on this Homebrew Wednesday. I call it September Fest because I think I'm not going to save the beer for the Oktoberfest, which is generally the first week of October, which is a bad weekend because they do the kickoff. I think it's a kickoff. No, it's probably like the second. No, I guess it's not. I guess it's actually not. It's just a football Sunday. NFL will be back in action, and they always pick our Oktoberfest right usually during our good Redskins game. So anyway, I may brew another Oktoberfest. Maybe I'll brew it beginning of September for the Blocktoberfest. But anyway, this one's called Septemberfest. I changed the recipe up just a bit, made it a little lighter. And it should be ready probably about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So it'll be Septemberfest, right? Is that right? Yeah, so it'll be early September when it's ready. So anyway, I'll show a little video on that. And the old school double IPA in the fast fermenter is doing fabulous. I don't know if I showed on the film. I'll look through my videos, but I used some fishing string and a hop sack with the drawstring, and I dropped the dry hops. I think I did 2 ounces of Citra and 1 ounce of Chinook. Get a little cattiness, right? So we'll let that one go for probably till this weekend. Then I'm gonna keg it and start getting it carved and cold and let it sit for a while. I'm trying to keep some around for when Josh comes to visit. So yeah, there's that. I gotta check and find out if my beers made it down for the Dominion Cup. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything on emails. I was driving home from dinner tonight and I saw that SJ was doing a live beer review of a Canadian Sasquatch's beer, and I was able to pop in for a minute, and then I had to go because I was talking to the family as we were driving on the street. But anyway, that's pretty cool, SJ. I'll go back and check it out, the full video later. Yeah, so what else is going on? I'm really excited because in October, my wife's got a work trip down near Santa Rosa. Is that right? Santa Rosa? It's wherever Pliny the Elder is, or Russian River. So I'm going to go down there with her, probably spend a few days and go to Russian River. And we're going to kind of putz around until her work conference starts. So we'll go down on Friday or something like that. And then I think her conference starts on Monday. So we'll putz around Santa Rosa for a few days. I think we're going to go, I think one of the days during to her work trip, they're going to go to the Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola winery. So we're going to go do that. Funny story, we had wanted to do that a long time ago, back many moons ago when we first got married. And I was a young lieutenant in the 82nd Airborne Division, and I had just passed Jumpmaster School, and all I had to do was the practical work in the aircraft, where you get inside the C-130 and you rig up, and you got to go through all your Jumpmaster commands, and then you got to throw some paratroopers out. Not throw them, but you got to exit the paratroopers out of the door, then you jump out, and you're working the aircraft. And you get to hang outside the door, look outside the aircraft, and call your 1 minute and 30-second reference points. So you've got to be able to look at the terrain and kind of get you kind of key off on certain lakes or streams or whatever the terrain feature is, and based on that, when it gets to a certain point, and you do your work on the map, because you don't get to go up there and recon it in the air, but you do your work on the map, and then when you get in the aircraft, you got to find that terrain symbol you're looking for, and then you got to give your 1 minute signal to the jumpers as part of your routine. So anyway, I gotta going out the door, and we were supposed to be going to California that following Sunday. We were stationed in North Carolina, and I gotta go. I did all my stuff correctly, and the guy kind of gave me a thumbs up as I was jumping out the door. Then when I landed on the ground, I hit pretty hard. Didn't think anything of it. The medics came running up to me and said, hey sir, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, yeah, it was like a rough landing. I said, no, I'm good. So I, packed up my parachute and had my rucksack and threw it over my neck and went running. Probably why I have to have neck surgery these days. But ran all the way to the parachute turn-in point, and then I had my roster number turned in, and when they called my roster number, I had been sitting down for a while. I get up and I was like, ooh, I was feeling a little funny on my ankle. Well, come to find out, I had a shear fracture through the middle of my ankle, and next day it was, I tried to drink a beer and take an aspirin and just sleep it off. Next day I had to go in the hospital, and big cast on my leg, and ended up not jumping, or ended up not going to wine country. It was the most expensive vacation that I never took. We learned a lesson: don't ever book in exclusively bed and breakfasts, because you don't get refunds. Don't also book a hot air balloon ride over Napa Valley, because you don't get that back. The only thing we got refunded was the Francis Ford Coppola wine tour that we were going to do. So now we get to go back years later. It's been 16 years, almost 16 years. It was in November 2002 when we had our trip planned. So anyway, looking forward to that. Long story, so I will cut it there. Just a quick one here. Hey, have yourself a happy homebrew, and have a very, very happy homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. Oh, by the way, I won't share this. Cheers. Okay, so this is sick. So I just took the ball off the fast ferment. It filled up nicely down in the reservoir. I have also added my dry hop using a nylon hot bag with a drawstring tied with fishing wire. So it's suspended. I put some sanitized marbles in with about 2 ounces of Citra and 1 ounce of Chinook. But what the cool thing is, so I've got this soaking in sanitizer now. I'm going to empty it and put it back on so I can collect if there's any hot sludge in the bottom after the next phase. But the cool thing is, look at the straight up yeast I got out of the ball. That is ridiculous. Look at that. It was like just straight up yeast. Maybe there's a little bit of hops in there, but not much. I mean, this is just pure yeast. I didn't have to rinse it or anything. Did have a sanitized jar. I think this is going to save me quite a bit of money on yeast down the road. Loving this fast ferment. Getting ready for Oktoberfest. Okay, so you saw the grain bill. I'm doing an Oktoberfest. I've got about 4 pounds of Pilsner. I want to say 4 pounds of Vienna, 2 pounds of Munich, and 1 pound of Cara Amber. So it should be 11 pounds, unless I'm missing something. So here's the grist. Got it in, ready to go. Got my strike water heating up. It's at about 155, so I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize some buckets and get the hoses all ready. Cheers. Okay, here I am. So Sunday morning doing a Oktoberfest. And I don't think, normally I do these for a block party. Thinking I might just do a Hefeweizen or something for this block party, because I'm gonna enjoy I never get to really enjoy the Oktoberfest. We drink it all in like an hour. So I like Oktoberfest, so this one I'm gonna enjoy. So maybe I'll do a Dunkelweiss or something for the block party, something easy. Anyway, you heard the grain bill earlier, so I love Oktoberfest, except for the fermentation's the only hard part. But I kind of did a double infusion, so I did 145 for about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and then I cranked it up to 154. So you can call that a double infusion, I guess. As far as hops, pretty easy. It's 2 ounces of Tettnang, so I'm doing 1.5 ounces at 60, and the rest of the 2 ounces at 30 minutes. Yeah, and it's very easy to brew Oktoberfest, and they're so tasty when they come out. So anyway, we'll try to get some more hop drops this time. My wife just left for a business trip, so just me and the kids. Uh-oh. Cheers. All right, first runnings of the Oktoberfest. I'll come up with a name for it. I was calling it Blacktoberfest, but this isn't going to be a Blacktoberfest. Cara Amber certainly made it red. Okay, so we have the wort collected and the, well, I gotta show you this. So here's the wort, my typical 7 1/4 gallons. It's heating up right now. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. It's about where I am. Yeah, so yeah, I'm creeping up to 200. But the exciting thing is, look at my numbers. So my pre-boil was supposed to be 1049. I hit 1049. I think I've done that once before. Hit that on. So hit that spot on. So that's kind of cool. Looks like I got my system dialed back in. I also pretty excited about the EBC, with the exception of the fact that this pit is still a little loose. You can probably see me moving that there. Kind of wish they would have tightened that up when they fixed it, but oh well. Maybe I can find some kind of Gorilla Glue or something and, you know, tamper it down. Anyway, we'll heat up, we'll come back into boil. I mean, actually, there's not much of a hop drop going on. Maybe we'll show pitching the yeast. I don't know. Cheers. And we're starting to get about boiling temp. Right there. So it's get through this hop right now. And this is the first hop drop. It was 1.5 ounces of Tettnang. Did a good vigorous boil. I did a kind of a slow or a soft boil for 30 minutes. Always do that with lagers. And started out with the 60-minute, really 60-minute edition with 1.5 ounces of Tettnang. All right, last hop drop. Cooking dinner. It's Home Chef, and yeah, I got some salmon going on. Thank God for Home Chef. But what do you need to make it complete? A little bit of double IPA and some assorted vegetables. Cheers. All right, so it's been, if you can see that, said it. It's supposed to be 48 to 53 degrees for a lager. This is the Oktoberfest. Got it in here. It's not bubbling, but I did check the fermenter, and it's got a nice krausen on it, so it's happy. Cheers.